What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadski, back again here to bring you guys a One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we have the brand new treasure map is live. So I did a little bit of a stream, a little bit over an hour, where we actually played through it, used my teams, and you know, things didn't really need to change all that much. However, there are some things that we do need to talk about in regards to some of these bosses here. This first one against the Intrusion Boss, against Sakazuki or Akainu. I did kind of overlook the fact that the captain swap only lasts for 2 turns. It doesn't even last for 3 turns. So you don't have to worry about having your captain switched and then having to worry about that being your captain on stage 3. One thing you do still need to note though is that when you finally reach the last stage, and the enemy will perform different actions depending on what type your captain is, that will still check the captain switched version of your captain. So if your captain that is switched in is Sabo in an example, it will see that it's an int captain, which means you're inflicted with despair. If it's a strength X or quick captain, you're still going to be inflicted with 13 turns of paralysis. So you do have to be careful about your captain position, but you don't have to worry about that being your captain when you perform your burst on the final stage. So do keep that in mind just when you are taking on the Sakazuki fight. Other than that though, no real main issues I've seen thus far with this team. Things are working pretty effectively, so pretty straightforward of course when you have Sabo and using Morley friend captain, and if you were lucky enough to do some pulls and get your hands on the Lindbergh or Bello Betty, that's definitely going to make your life a whole lot easier as well against this fight. Moving on to our Battle Rush bosses, the first one against Kuruma here. This one is actually, again, pretty easy. One thing I did kind of overlook as well is that the paralysis that you get inflicted with in this content is actually only inflicted to your captains. It's not even inflicted to your crewmates. So I guess you could pretty much ignore the paralysis if you really wanted to overall. You do still need to remove the enemy's defensive effects, which is damage threshold and rainbow shield damage reduction. So you could go ahead and use Sanji and pudding like I do here, or you could go ahead and use something like Legend Carrot or Dogstorm Cat Viper in order to bypass that altogether. That's also a pretty valid strategy that I think a lot of people are going to adopt, especially with Dogstorm and Cat Viper, considering they do have type advantage against this boss. So I do feel like it's a pretty solid strategy to use that against this quest. Moving on to our next Battle Rush boss here is against Ashigi. I am using the Dogstorm Cat Viper strategy with this one, with the Hiyori sub to generate the full board of Wano slots, and then we do have the Dogstorm in order to trigger the Cat Viper's super type, which is important, allowing us to wave clear the first 2 stages. Dogstorm's a pretty solid option here as well because he is strength, he will have type advantage against Ashigi, and also the fact that Dogstorm does provide an attack boost, a 2x attack boost to our Psi units and our strength units, which is most important to get the strength units get as much damage as they possibly can. You do see that I do have a support of Kid to give a 1.3 times color affinity boost to our squad. Mainly just means that we don't have to use a special on the final stage if we don't really have to, like we really don't. But as things progress throughout the TM, we will have to start using specials to enhance our damage in this fight. Moving on to the third boss here is going to be up against Hina. This quest is kind of interesting and actually has quite a lot of gimmicks, surprisingly. So we're going to use Nami and Karina here because by using the combination of a Nami special and a Karina special, we get through a large majority of the debuffs. We do have a couple of key supports though. We do have the support of Eneru, which attaches to Nami, and that effect is very, very cool because it does do an HP cut when we reach the final stage, meaning that it will remove the stun. And technically, if you didn't want to use like a resilience removing special like we do here with Nami and Karina, we can actually just, you know, use that NL special to do end of turn damage as well. So NL's a really good support for this specific piece of content. And then another key support on this team is on the Chopper character on this team. We do have Otoko. The support Rare Recruit Otoko is very good because it removes 1 turn of attack down and 1 turn of threshold, meaning that the Nami Karina special will remove the rest of the debuffs on this fight. The final Battle Rush boss is against Kizaru. This is a bit of a weird one. I did actually change my team up a little bit. What I ended up doing is I am using Kobe as my captain this time around. Main reason for that is because Kobe has to be the captain in order for his special to remove the territory, the enemy territory. So that's the main reason why I did that. And then in tandem with the fact that we have Carrot as a crewmate means that we can use Carrot's special to become the captain in the middle of a quest. She also deals with the special reverse on this team as well. And because she becomes the captain, we can ignore the enemy's rainbow shield on this team as well. Zorojuro for the wave clearing. Jinbei is just a strength unit that will get buffs by the rest of the team, and he's a strength unit, which is the most important thing. And when we use Jinbei's special, it'll trigger the Akainu support, which will give a full board of strength slots and an attack boost to our strength units. And then we do have Bon Clay, mainly just because his potential ability of hunger is kind of required to actually get through this fight. The final boss, of course, is going to be up against the Fujitora and Green Bull. And once again, using a relatively similar team to the Intrusion Boss fight, we're going to be using the Morley Friend Captain. We have the Luffy and the Sabo subs, YIPPEE as well. And then we are using Orochi because we do still need to remove 6 turns of damage threshold once we get to the final stage. So that is kind of important. But we're using a really cool strat here with Crocodile because we are inflicted with a chain attack down. And if your chain is 2.4 or less, you basically get like no damage. So what we're doing here is we use the superclass of Crocodile, which sets his special launch status to 1, meaning that when we do use his special, it is going to give us a 3-turn chain boundary. So the chain attack down that gets inflicted to us, we can basically just ignore it altogether thanks to the Crocodile special ability. That is the main reason why we're using him here. Technically, we could probably squeeze like the Rare Recruit Garb onto this team because you can use his special multiple times to get the chain boundary. However, I don't actually have Rare Recruit Garb, so I have to run a little bit of a weird scenario with this one, but it does work pretty effectively. I did completely overlook the fact that Crocodile does remove paralysis with his special as well, so you don't need to run all of those supports that I talked about in my preparation video. But of course, we use the YIPPEE as well, which is enabling us to remove the bunch of attack down on this stage. And then when we reach the final stage, we can just use the rest of the specials and get that dub. So that is going to wrap it up for me. Good luck on your treasure map grind, everyone. Really hope that it goes well, and wishing you guys the best of luck on your SugoFest exclusive legend tickets. Hopefully you enjoyed the video though, and if you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.